I just finished, I thought, a productive meeting with the congressional leadership about the path forward to make sure America does not default, emphasize does not default on its debt for the first time in our history. I'm pleased but not surprised to hear Republican Minority Leader of the United States Senate saying that at our meeting that the United States is not going to default, never has, and it never will. He's absolutely correct. We continue.
So, President Joe Biden's administration, again, last Sunday, they warned of catastrophic consequences for the US economy, including huge job losses, and maybe the country can get into default. So apparently, the US could go on default. Experts are saying that the country will tumble into unknown territory with drastic consequences. So this includes a global crisis, job losses, and everything we saw in 2008. So the USA cannot pay its debts right now at the moment. The only solution is to agree on a deal with lawmakers to raise the current limit on government spending. Does this make sense to you? It seems like the spending can only be increased if an agreement is reached with the Republicans. But the Republicans believe that an extension to the $31.4 trillion current cap could lead to many problems. So, do you remember the talks about a Russian default in 2022? Okay, if you don't worry.
Tell us what's happening.
Yeah, it's a big deal historically, and legally it is also highly unique because Russia is saying it has enough money to pay on the debt, but because of the increasingly harsh sanctions imposed by Western nations, it's unable to actually do so. And that's why we have the Russian finance minister calling this a farce, saying whatever label you want to put on it, you can put on it. But he said, quote, anyone who understands the situation knows that this is in no way a default. Again, that's a quote from the Russia's finance minister. And however you view the situation, it is indeed a grim milestone in the country's rapid transformation into an economic, financial, and political outcast. The nation's Eurobonds, as Sherry mentioned, have traded at distressed levels since this.
Well, so basically what the Biden administration did say, and also Ursula von der Leyen from the European Union, they did say that the Russian economy will suffer from the sanctions that they imposed on Russia back in 2022. And they just put many packages of sanctions, right? And they did say that the Russian economy will fall in default. However, as you can hear here, she's quoting the Russian finance minister saying that actually we're not falling on default because we're not paying our foreign debt. You're not allowing us to pay our foreign debt, but freezing our assets. So the US frees Russian assets to stop Russia from paying the foreign debt, and they call this a default. But look at what's going on in the US today. Since the Ukrainian war began, the Biden administration and the US Congress have directed more than $25 billion in assistance to Ukraine, whilst the US cannot pay its current debt. Does this make sense to you?